Good morning, YouTube fans. This is Dr. Matthew Johnson. It is Wednesday morning, August the 2nd, 2017, 7:27 a.m. And no, I'm not sure if I'm even in this frame, but we just spent our second night here in SOIA, and I have two guests with me this morning. You've seen them on the previous video if you watch the one below this one. And I'll introduce them and we'll get going. This morning I have with me
camping here. This is Marcy
from
Oregon.
There we go. And
Rick from Southern Oregon.
Rick from Southern Oregon. And as we established in the video below, if they scroll down, you both are law enforcement officers in the state of Oregon.
Yes.
Yes, and we're keeping it general on purpose. So, let's start off with what happened yesterday and last night.
So, yeah, yesterday we went to the river to cool off because it was over 100 degrees outside. Came back, was really tired. And my wife and Dr. Johnson took a nap. And I was
Not together.
No.
Okay.
You guys were asleep.
There we go.
I probably should just throw it in there. I think I fell asleep too, actually, in a chair.
Yes.
And I was awoke by the sound of someone running, like a jogger running down the road. And the dog alerted. I just kind of woke up, looked to my right, and it was down the dirt road. Sounded like walking on or running in decomposed granite. And the dog looked too, and I can hear it running, but there's nothing there. And that was the weirdest thing that ever happened because there was nothing there.
So both you and the dog looked together because you both heard it, yet nothing was there.
Yep.
As you heard it running toward you.
Yes.
What did you think?
I'm like, well, where is it? Is it still coming? And then the noise stopped.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Okay. So then what happened last night, guys? What do you remember?
Oh, last night, lots of noise, lots of crashing in the woods, and distortions, light distortions.
I saw a lot of eye glow. It looked to me like it was about a foot or two off the ground.
Belly crawler?
Yeah, and it was over at 1 o'clock from the 12 o'clock position.
Okay.
I kept feeling a very strong presence over near the toilet facility.
Near the toilet facility, and the tent blew over in the wind last night, but down that way.
Yeah, there was a lot of presence over there. I think Rick saw shadows over there.
Okay.
After you walked through there were shadows behind you.
Mm-hmm.
At a certain point, Mother Nature was calling, and I needed to go over there, but I felt such a strong presence. My husband came with me,
Mm-hmm.
and as I approached, I just audibly said, "Okay, I'm gonna use the toilet now. Please don't touch me or scare me while I'm sitting on the toilet." And something ran up the trail away from the toilet area, so that was pretty interesting.
And you heard that too, Rick?
Yeah, I heard that. I didn't
And the
see
dog
it.
heard it, and the dog sat down next to me.
Yeah, the dog actually came with us,
Mm-hmm.
which it doesn't usually do.
Yeah.
And I also felt something weird was happening over there. Of course, when that running up the hill, I was like, okay, something was here. So you had more knowledge of it than I did at the time. But once everything was done and you headed back, I felt the need to stay. So I kind of stood behind the tent and was watching to see what was going to happen. And there was movement to my right in the bushes, probably about 20 feet away. And then whatever it was that ran up the hill did not leave. It stayed there.
Uh-huh.
And then there was another one to the left of me, and I can hear it in the bushes just kind of mealing around.
Mm-hmm.
And then it ran through the woods and crashed.
Made a lot of noise.
Made a lot of noise.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm too far away from the group. I'm coming back. So I came back.
Awesome. And you guys remember anything else from last night?
This morning before dawn,
Yeah.
I woke up to running and crashing over at the 9 o'clock area.
Up on the 9 o'clock hill.
And I heard very deep sounding snorts.
Mm-hmm.
And then running again. and then some more snorts, and then it ran down and probably up. I'm thinking up the dirt road there from the hillside, and it was gone.
Okay. Cool.
I also heard that in the morning around 5 o'clock or so, and a bunch of loud noises, but I was so tired I just rolled right back over and fell asleep. But there was a lot of activity, and I went to bed with activity, woke up with activity, so I just felt it was just going all night probably. But
Yeah. So do you guys think we had more activity last night than we did the first night?
definitely, I would say yes as far as closeness and,
Yeah,
and the
especially
presence,
the
the weird,
presence.
yeah,
Yes.
that we were completely surrounded, and it was they were right on top of us, so
Yeah.
it was definitely that way last night more than it was the night before.
We also had one last night, if I remember correctly, that chucked something heavy out there.
Yes.
It was like it threw a log or something out in the
Yeah,
woods.
so determining noises, there was something that was definitely thrown that was heavy, stomping, stepping on, breaking branches, yeah, walking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know what we're forgetting, Rick. Last night, Zorth walked into camp.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
The shimmering distortion.
Yeah.
That
Now
was
I've never
amazing.
ever seen that before, where lights bent,
Uh-huh.
where fog is going through the sunlight or something, and it was rays just kind of shooting out.
No.
It was, and then kind of bouncing a light around. It was kind of really weird.
Yeah. He was a big guy. And then when I was playing the music last night, and I was at the 12 o'clock position, I'm doing this for everyone watching the video, I was way in there in the dark, and something stepped right in front of me, and then blew a big puff of air right on my forehead. That was pretty cool. Okay, so you guys glad you came?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it was really fun and relaxing to be out here, and I didn't feel afraid. I just was startled a few times.
Okay.
A healthy respect for what's out there.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say the complete opposite. Is I'm not used to being out the way. I like my security around me, and I was totally out of my comfort zone, and I was scared shitless every night, and I couldn't wait for it to be over. First of all, I wanted to stay up, and I wanted to not go to bed and be exposed by whatever was going to come get me.
Because you'd be vulnerable if you were
Yes.
sleeping.
Yeah, exactly.
And what people need to know when they're watching this is we've made a general statement about you guys working in law enforcement in Oregon. Part of your work takes you out in the woods.
Oh yeah, and I'm armed, and that still doesn't matter.
Well,
It's
but
still-
my point is, when you're out in the woods doing your job, like marijuana eradication or whatever you do, you overnight in the woods, and you're not scared shitless when you
No,
do that.
no.
And gunfights and everything else. You're one tough ass dude, and I want these people watching this video to know that you're the man's man out in the woods. But you just said what you said last night.
Yeah.
You were scared shitless.
Yep, and surrounded, totally surrounded.
Yeah, and that's a whole different scenario out in the
Yeah,
woods.
It is.
Yeah.
Because you know something's there, and I can't identify it. I didn't see anything except for the light stuff. You just hear everything and you feel it.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the difference.
It was a totally new experience for you.
Oh yeah.
And as I told
100%.
you when you were laying down last night, when you go back out in the woods doing your job, it's never going to be the same.
No. It's not.
That's going to be cool. Okay, well, Rick has another story for every one of you watching this. We're not going to shoot it with this video, so you're going to want to scroll up to hear an interesting experience that he had out in the woods within the last 10 years. One or two last silly questions, ladies and gentlemen, for the skeptics and the scoffers and the trolls out there. Did I at any time hypnotize you?
Absolutely
No.
not.
Did I at any time pay you to lie?
No.
Let's see, did I hoax in any way?
Nope.
No.
Could I pull off what happened last night?
No.
Absolutely not.
No. Okay. And so, was the Kool-Aid good? Did it taste good?
You didn't give us any Kool-Aid.
No
We
Kool-Aid?
brought our own drinks.
You brought your own drinks. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you both for coming. It's been fun.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Okay, this is Dr. J signing off.